Strict though, strict, understand, only person I owe is myself. Strict, I went from strict to strict though, strict, understand, only person I owe is myself. Strict. Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Big Stricto here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever it is that these other people tell you to do, but do it for me. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, the transfer window is closed last night. And I'm sure like most fans, everyone's either confused, disappointed, or angry. Or all of the above. I'm no different. I mean, to say I was shocked, not really. I really thought, because due to the injuries that we had, naively thinking that we would at least dip into the market, but it hasn't proved to be so. I remember actually after the game, if you watch my AFTV interview, and I said, if I was the club, this moment, this feeling would be the right time to go out and get someone in, just to add the extra cream on the top of our performance on Sunday against Man City. I mean, that was an incredible performance. That was an incredible win. That was a statement win, if you like to say. You know, how we dismantled this Pep Guardiola's team, how we showed ourselves, you know. We showed that for once we don't have to respect them like we usually do. You know, we've respected them for so long. And, you know, so many games, even before this fixture, you always thought we could beat them if we could just get rid of that respect element, that fear element, because they've traumatized us. We've got PTSD, you know, from City. Every time we play them, we get whacked. So to then go into Sunday and after Sunday and beat them so convincingly, you know, without Bukayo Saka, you know, one of our main players. You know, we brought in, and then having two of our youth Hale End Academy players being so involved to the point they actually score goals, good goals. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Ethan Nwaneri. I said, yes, this is it. This is the time now to go and bring someone in. They have to do this now, you know. And I watched the window close, bro. You know, one of them loners. You know, you're looking out your window, looking at that girl, that hot girl across the street, just peeping through the blind, peeping through her windows, and then boom, she just closed it quietly. That's how it was. There was no, how can I put it? It wasn't, there was no excitement. She just quietly drew her curtains and that was it. No more window. Can't see nothing. No excitement. You know, and it just really, really felt like that. Yeah, and that was it. You know, that was it. And again, I've been here long enough to know I've heard every excuse every season. They talk about that war chest. How many times have you guys heard that? That war chest. They've got a £250 million war chest, 100 and something million pound war chest. Over the years, they've always spoke about this war chest and how they were going to use it, they were going to spend it, bringing new players in, and we saw nothing. Again, back to back January window, we've seen nothing. Where it's clear more than ever that the squad needed it. Not even for cosmetic sake, not even just because, you know, we want to look good. No, we need it. Otherwise, we're gonna die. Like, we need the operation. You know, it's like, you know, that window came at the right time. If you think about Saka going off 3 days, getting injured 3 days before the window opened, Jesus getting injured 14 days into the window being open. It's like almost getting crossing the road and you get hit. You get hit by a car, you get hit by a vehicle, and it's an ambulance. Imagine that. Imagine getting hit by a car and it's an ambulance. How lucky must you be? You get hit by an ambulance. Surely this is that window come in at the right time. It's the right vehicle to get hit with. It's a pit stop, the perfect pit stop at the right time, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it, and I know a lot of people are gonna hit out at Arteta, but you heard Arteta in almost every press conference ever since Saka got injured. Are you gonna bring a new recruitment? He said, "Yeah, we need it. We need it." He said so. If you look at some of the times where he's had to play Partey right back, just to prove a point. In my opinion, just to prove a point, we need recruitment. We need it, and we need it urgently. And I know a lot of people are gonna give him the slack, but I just think some people maybe don't understand how the club operates, and the is it hierarchy? There we go. That's the word I was looking for. The hierarchy of the club. We have the Cronkies. In fact, let me see if I can even share my screen here. Share screen. Let's see the Arsenal board. Yeah. So here we go. So you can see there the directors of Arsenal Holdings Limited. Just to even let you know, it's even a business. You can see the word there, limited. Yeah, and not only limited by name, but limited in nature as well. Yeah, Stan Kroenke, as you see there, the director, and then you go there to his son, who probably is more involved in the day-to-day activities of the club. I imagine he probably reports to his father, but I'm sure he's more hands-on and more involved than his father is. And then you've got the board members, Tim Lewis, the executive vice chair. So these men here, Lord Harris of Peckham, these men here are the power of Arsenal. Yeah, the corridor of power. These are the money men. So these men aren't involved in the football. These are the shareholders, the board. These are the guys that when they're basically the behind the club. You talk about the Illuminati. These are these guys. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're the guys that run the thing behind. They ultimately have the say so. The executive say so. So nothing don't happen in the club without these guys. Yeah, you can see them there. Nothing don't happen without them, and that's what it is. So people will squarely blame this on Arteta. People will say, listen, you knew, we was bare. We needed a striker. We needed a number 9, not a wide player. We needed a number 9, a traditional number 9, the likes of Isak, the likes of Vlahovic, those kind of guys. It got to the point where I was like, I have an idea who I want, a player who I think would suit what we've got. Like I particularly don't even want Osimhen. I don't think Osimhen is what we're looking at. And I was like, you know what? It got to the point where I was like, bring in Osimhen, bring in Victor Boniface, bring in anyone, because it was more than just a case of bringing in a target. Listen, we know it's difficult, but City have proved it can be done. City have proved it can be done. If you're serious, it can be done. And I know, listen, our league position suggests that we're doing great, but it's not about where we are now. It's about where we know the inevitable. It's like a slow car crash. The car's gonna crash. You can see it. You can literally see the person crossing the road. You can see the car doing 70 miles an hour. You can see the person hasn't even looked. You can see what's about to happen. The car's not gonna stop in time and it's gonna hit someone. We know that we can see it, and that's why that's why we're so angry. That's why we're so confused. That's why we can't believe that no one has come in, because we can see the slow car crash. And some have suggested that, we're gonna sign. We didn't sign now because we're gonna sign in the summer, and I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling big bullshit on that. We see, like I said earlier, we see them talk about this war chest for years, and they've never spent. I can only, maybe not even a handful. I can count on a crippled hand. How much times we've actually gone out and smashed on a marquee player. Declan Rice was one, Aubameyang was the other, and Ozil. That is it. That is it. Now, if you compare it to other clubs, they don't even have a marquee signing because they do it so regularly. They do it so regularly. So now we're stuck with now having having Havertz as our main source of food, if you want to put it that way. Havertz is what's going to have to feed us. You know, listen, the summer window was shit, and they didn't even match it. That's just what I can say right now. The summer window was so shit that they didn't even match it. Just let that breathe. Let that breathe. The summer window was shit and we didn't even match it. We pay the highest ticket prices in the country, if not Europe. Yeah? If not Europe. Yeah? I keep telling you, the biggest mistake you can do is go to the Emirates on an empty stomach. Go try that. Go to Emirates without eating and see how much you get taxed on just food alone. And that's just for one person. Talk less if you've got kids or you got friends or you got whatever. Yeah. So we get taxed on season ticket, the highest, and then we get taxed on food, and all of that comes with it. Match day, magazines, all that stuff is one of the most expensive in the country. And we are in this place now where we are running good, we're running smooth, and just need a few adjustments. Not much, not much, not much. And and um and they refuse to add to it. And honestly, it's frustrating. It really, 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 really is. And then we talk about when is Saka going to be back? When is Jesus going to be back? Jesus himself wasn't even prolific, but we're so bare that we now depend on Jesus to come back. You know, Havertz, we know he's not clinical. He does do the job sometimes. You saw that chance he missed against City. You saw the one he missed against Newcastle. You saw the one he missed against Wolves. You saw the one he missed against. Listen, you can probably name every game, 5, 6, 7 games back. Havertz has missed a sitter, a sitter. But he works his arse off. Do you know what I'm saying? He works his arse off. Soon enough, we're gonna run him to the ground. Soon enough, we've got internationals coming up. He's gonna go to Germany. We saw what the internationals did for us when Odegaard went off injured. So listen, I'm honestly, I don't think I'm even vexed anymore. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just numb in it. I'm just numb. But listen, I'm gonna read out some comments here. Pepteta, sorry. Salam alaikum. Big up from Oman. Big up yourself, my brother. Conky out. Come on, you Arsenal. Arteta really needed players this window. They've let him down. That's truly what it is. That's truly what it is. And I know some people, like I said, some people are going to be on Arteta's head because they think it's Arteta, but you need to know how the mechanics of how this thing runs. You really need to know how it runs. Arteta doesn't have to say. And now some will say the players Arteta brought in. He brought in. Let me see. He brought in. Who did he bring in this summer? He brought in Calafiori, Marino, Sterling, and we completed the signing of David Raya. After his loan move. But even if you want to argue against the players he's brought in, right? Bar Sterling, Calafiori's bagged us 2 goals, against City and won us a game at Wolves. Marino has bagged against Liverpool and against Brentford. You really can't argue. Would I rather them being forward players? Of course. But if you want to look at the numbers, those players have really put in things in for us. They've really contributed. So you can't argue that. And then the one player is the one on loan, the one who's disappointed, the one on loan. He's the one who hasn't really hit the ground running. The one who's Premier League proven, the one who has played at the top level, the one who has won things. He's the one who is currently letting us down. So if you want to argue that, the players that he's brought in haven't been good enough, that's a different conversation. But if you want to look at the numbers, Without Calafiori's goal last week, we would not have had the 3 points. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Without his goal against City at Etihad, we wouldn't have been in a winning position. And that's also a fact. So I think, we got to give credit here. He said many times we need forward players. We need forward players. And, and it hasn't happened. I mean, the ideal one here, big up yourself, ODD says Arsenal signed Isak. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy unless that is one of the reasons why we haven't brought no one in, is because we are trying to put the money together to bring Isak in. But then, how much are we going to spend? And Newcastle going to let him go? Because Newcastle, they're not strapped for cash. They don't need the money. They don't need the money. We know that. But I'm disappointed that in this economical space that we're in, where there aren't a lot of permanent transfers being made, a lot of loans. There's a lot of loans. We saw so many players coming into other clubs on loan, so many players going out on loan. We could have done that. Like, at this point, I'm just like, bring anyone in. Bring anyone in. The club, the team is literally working on, Arteta is literally working on what he's got. And we've been so blessed that we've had two of our academy products come up and step up. Now that conversation having a Saka replacement, we don't need a Saka replacement anymore. We don't need a left back anymore because those boys have stepped up. I can't see Miles Lewis-Skelly being dropped. I really can't. So, but we've been lucky with it, man. We've been lucky with it. Emmanuel Hale, love from Melbourne, Australia. Big up yourself. I'm sure I pronounced your name right. I'm sure that's Emmanuel. Big up yourself for tapping in. Listen, guys, don't forget to hit the likes. Hit the like. We need that. The algorithm gods to be on our sides. And so hit that up, man. Big up yourself. All of you tapped in right now. Let me get to some of you lot's comments, man. Can't even sell. Hasim Hussein says, "Yo, can't even sell Jesus in the summer as he's out for a year." I mean, that Jesus one is a funny one, man. He's not reliable, and when he is reliable, he gets injured. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but you're starting to see a trend and a pattern. I personally think we should have got rid of him in the summer. I think he should have been one of the guys that we should have got rid of because his injury record, he proves he gets injured every season. He gives you that. Paul Abutu, my guy, my brother, Abole. Man, I'm so disappointed Arsenal didn't sign at least one striker on loan. Kai is trying, but he's not prolific and cannot lead the front line alone. Yeah, I mean, we've all been saying the same thing. I don't think anyone has said what you've just said, and it's true. Kai, you can't fault him. You cannot fault him. You cannot. I mean, listen. I scream, I shout, I abuse. I've abused Kai. I'm not gonna sit here and act like because I abuse Kai sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I get onto him. I'm not gonna lie. But at least I can still say when the brother's doing well, you can give him. I appreciate his contribution. That's something I can say. I appreciate his contribution. But then now let's look at the Ollie Watkins situation. Let's talk about the Ollie Watkins situation. We've had various sources confirm that we went in for Ollie Watkins. And I will say this, I'm not particularly keen on Ollie Watkins. You look at his style, he's not. Listen, when we talk about Arsenal forwards, maybe I've been spoiled. I've had Van Persie, I've had Thierry Henry, I've had even Adebayo, I've had Bergkamp, I've had Ian Wright. I've had what's my name, Eduardo. I've had we've had those sort of players who are Arsenal players. Alexander Isak reminds me of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And Ollie Watkins, to me, is just a level above Nketiah. To me, and if you look at his stats, he's missed the most big chances, 19 big chances. 19 big chances. You're going to be screaming at Kai Havertz. You're going to definitely be screaming at Ollie Watkins. You're going to what are we talking about here? But I would have even taken him. But we valued him at 40 million. The rumors was it was 60 million. Arsenal went in, but that was rejected. But apparently, Villa said for 60 mil, we can talk, we can do business. And Arsenal didn't value him that high. And to a degree, I can sort of see he's 29, he's going to be 30 this year. Um, there's no sell on value. And big if, we're talking about buying a top striker, then that 60 million comes out of that budget, and that sort of kills us. And he's injured right now. Like, I'm not even laughing about him being injured, but I'm laughing at the fact that if we did table in that 60 million and done business, he's injured. He's injured. We signed Marino, he was injured. Like some of this shit you can't seriously make up. You cannot make up. You really, really cannot make some of this shit up, man. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's have a look here. Okay, Lavish, big up yourself, Lavish. If we get thoughts on if we were gonna get Ollie Watkins. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get him. I mean, and I don't know whether we were doing it. Let me not say we, because it's not me in it. Let's talk about the board. Yeah, let's talk about the board, because I don't feel like the board represents us. Let's be honest, they don't. They've got their own interest. I don't think winning the league or aspiring to win the big trophies is their interest. They're fully satisfied with getting Champions League. That has always been their goal. That has always been their trophies, the Champions League. Getting in there, being in amongst the mix of all the top clubs, but not actually wanting to take it that one step further. If we do, great, but if we don't, as long as we keep rinse and repeat coming back, that's all they care about. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what it really is about. But let's talk about, they valued Ollie Watkins at 40 mil. Now, if you're Aston Villa, you're thinking, hold on, you're valuing our main striker at 40 mil when your third choice striker, Eddie Nketiah, you sold for 30, 35 mil. How does that even make sense? That's what I'm saying. Like how do you go in there to do business with that sort of, like, the numbers are there. They know how much we've sold Eddie Nketiah for. They know. And Eddie Nketiah isn't on Watkins' level. I mean, to be fair, Watkins sits over Eddie Nketiah, but they're not on this level. So I don't think they actually went in to actually do business. I think they went in because they felt the pressure of the fans. They felt the noise that was coming from the fans. They felt the fan base were starting to, you know what I'm saying? Starting to get bitter. Listen, remember, I don't know which stage you lot started following me from. I don't know, which stricto, whether it's the season ticket stricto or whether it's the whatever in it. But if we're talking about the season ticket, when you saw me throw my season ticket in protest, by the way, yeah. Some say it's for clout, whatever. But let me tell you, in protest, yeah. And essentially, that sort of made the rounds. That went viral, newspaper, whatever. And they sort of reacted and got rid of Emery. Listen, I'm not saying it's because of that they got rid of Emery, but if they're looking at it from the standpoint of, if fans are doing that, then surely fans aren't going to renew season tickets. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to buy seats, which is essentially what they want. It's essentially what they're after. So, until we start making a stand against the business side of Arsenal, then it's going to be a repetitive cycle. You've got a chance here to move us forward. But I also think the club have given up on the league. I just think they don't think we can win the league. They don't think we can win the league. So I think you can add that to the mix. But yeah, listen, I got something at the door. Give me 1 second. Let me rush and get this. Yeah, sorry about that, peeps. Yeah, so I mean, we're struggling here, man. We're struggling, but they've shown their ambitions isn't the Premier League. Um, I mean, that's obvious. That's the only logical conclusion is that they're not trying to win the Premier League. They feel like Liverpool are way ahead. So it's having to spend money wouldn't make sense. I can't speak for them, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel at times they need, I mean, we talk about referees needing to come out and speak after howlers, to clarify their decisions or to clarify and explain their decisions. When is the club gonna come out and speak and say why and why they did it? You know, cool down the fans. Cool down the fans. You know, Hashim says Arteta's took a mediocre forward line to second and third in the league and in the Champions League. Give him a couple more attackers. And that's Hashim. Thank you very much. You have hit what the logic that I'm behind, why I'm behind Arteta. You have hit the logic of why I'm behind Arteta. We are currently the second best team in the league. And if you look at our forward line, we've got Saka, who's probably the only really standout player. And then we've got Martinelli, who's hit and miss. Trossard, again, hit and miss. Havertz, here and there. But really, we only got really one standout, which is Bukayo Saka. And Arteta's taking us sitting, 6 points behind Liverpool. We're second with the most goals, defensively second with listen, he's doing miracles. He's doing miracles. I mean, if you look down our squad, we don't have a squad of players that people know. It's not like Liverpool, Man City. We're just a squad of like where did Saliba come from? Where did Gabriel come from? You know, where did Calafiori come from? Timber. Like these guys are not known, but they play for the manager. They play for the team. They play for the club. You see it. Look, Declan Rice. Declan Rice. I mean, okay, without Declan Rice, but Declan Rice comes in and he plays for the manager and plays for the team, plays for the club. But we're not like those other teams that have bought players who everyone knows and and they've moved on that way. We're patching and figuring out. And Arteta's managed to do that. He's brought in two young players who again have saved us money from having to go and buy a Saka replacement. That Saka, not a Saka replacement, but an understudy to Saka. I mean, listen, the guy's got, like I said in my interview, he's already building a reputation. He's already building a signature finish, just like Saka. How many other teams can have almost a like to like? City used to have it, City had that when they had Mahrez and Mahrez and Sane. It's crazy, but we're starting to do it, but we're doing it organically. All we're asking is help the fucking manager, bro. Help the manager. Help the manager. Help the manager. It's honestly, it's crazy. Like I said, I'm not even vexed anymore, man. I'm beyond vexed. It's meh. That's how I feel about it. I feel meh. That's how I really feel. Yeah, no ambition. No ambition. They do have ambition. It's just not the same. It's not aligned with us fans, So here we are. Abuta says again, if Newcastle don't get Champions League football, I reckon Arsenal will go for Isak. He will be damn expensive, but we could get him. How much do you think Isak is worth? Let me know in the comments. How much do you think? What's okay? Better question. What wouldn't you pay for Isak? What wouldn't you pay for Isak? If we're going on the lines that Villa wanted 60 million to start a conversation, then how much is Isak worth? Isak fits Arsenal like a glove. Like a glove. You see how he is, very silky, can provide assist. He's got that finish on lock, doesn't really waste chances. He links up. I mean, he's fast, he's quick, very technical, has all types of finishes to his uh to his arsenal. You know, he has all types of finishes. How much wouldn't you pay? Or do you say we go out and we break the record? We break our transfer record. I mean, we brought Declan Rice in for 104 million. Do we then, is it 115? Is it 120? Because I don't believe these guys were really trying to get Watkins. I really don't believe it, you know. But I wanted just anyone to come through the door. You can see very, very soon if Havertz gets in. I mean, that's even a question. What does happen when Havertz gets injured? What happens then? Then do we then push Martinelli to a 9? And we know what his finishing is like. We know what he's like a. Listen, let me keep my mouth shut. Let me not make any analogies. My analogies are always dirty, but they make sense. They make sense to me. But I gotta be careful. I gotta be mindful that kids might be watching. So yeah. But is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna play him as a number 9 because we've had plenty of chances to try him out as a number 9 because he's very quick. He has the ability, but is the final third is very, very hit and miss, and more time missed than even hit. More time missed than even hit. So yeah. So we talk about signings, and we don't even have a sporting director yet. Like we haven't even addressed that issue. We've currently got this guy who is our interim or acting director, Jason Ito. This guy here. Let's see if it loads. Yeah, let me accept these damn cookies. There we go. This guy here, I don't know if you lot can see my screen. So he's the acting director since Edu left. He definitely an actor, and I think what I've read is that the board members like him. They possibly want to give him the role permanently. But again, it's kind of scary if he's done nothing and the board members are tipping him to be next up. Because what have you done to to warrant the job? Since Edu's left, you've had a window, and the board. What do they like? What have they identified that they like? Which is just shows we are in scary hours, man. Honestly, in scary hours. But where do we go? Like I keep saying, we had a perfect chance for us to bring in a recruitment to push us to the end of the season, and now our fit forward line is now Trossard, Martinelli, Sterling, Havertz, and Nwaneri. That's the forward line that we've got. And those guys are backed by the board to deliver us the league or the Champions League. That's what they believe. But like I said, I don't think the ambition aligns with the fans, or even with the manager. But I suppose that's what Arteta's got. That's what he's got. He's going to take the brunt of it. A lot of fans are going to get at him. A lot of fans are going to blame him. It's going to strictly be because of Arteta. We haven't made any signings. But listen, let's look at is it Charles? What? I was looking at what he was saying yesterday on Twitter, and he put it. I don't even know. I don't even know how to even put how he's even. No, let's look for that quote. Let's look for that quote. Post, because he said something about it being a gamble, and gamble was such a nice way to put it. Where is it? Gamble, such a nice way to put it. I can't even find it. I thought I had it up, but basically, without sort of putting it in I'm sure it was Charles Watts that said it. I had it on my Twitter, but anyway, it's not there. But I thought gamble was a nice way to sort of put it, which is bullshit. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's what I wanted to sort of get with. That's what I sort of wanted to say. Yeah. So tomorrow I'll be doing the watch along for the Newcastle game, and then a couple other shows. Please look out for it. If you haven't liked, please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And yeah, big up yourselves once more, and thank you very, very much. And we go again.
I went from strict to stricto, strict. Understand? Only person I owe is myself. Strict. I went from strict.